They're good at it. I'm expecting to see them perform well here. But Clubhouse first. What do you think of this?
Yeah, here we go. And we've got the bans going underway. G2 going to start on defense. This is the key here, right? This is the problem with picking Clubhouse. You pick Clubhouse, the team is going to get defense, and it's a huge, huge defender-sided map. So let's see exactly how BDS plans to attack this. It's really going to come down to their attacks, and that's it. These guys really have to come out swinging on this map, and I'm really excited. There goes the Echo. Echo's banned.
Sorry.
What?
Echo's being
I
banned.
know, it's okay. I'm used to it. I'm used to it.
Yeah.
As long as the Maestro stays up, we're good. There it is. There goes Mira.
All right.
Standard ban on this map.
Makes sense. I mean, the Montaigne is probably the most interesting one, right? I mean, Capitao, extremely powerful attacker. Mira and Echo, the most two commonly banned defenders. Montaigne is the defender that you don't always see get banned. In fact, it's pretty rare to see him take off the board. I guess it's probably just BDS hating shields, which is a lot of teams. They don't like shields. And then perhaps also looking at G2 and saying, wow, we know they play shields on this map.
When you see a Montaigne ban, there's two things. You're either trying to counter what you see in their attack, maybe that you're just gonna try to take away, and Montaigne brings a brute force powerhouse kind of this mentality where he's taking control very, very quickly. So they're just gonna ban that Montaigne out because they don't want to worry about it at all. So that makes sense.
Coming to the very first round here on Clubhouse, and we are going to go upstairs. Again, saw this map earlier today, Father's Back versus Dark Zero, and they went downstairs quite often, but it's going to be CCTV cache for the very first bomb site. Redeemer, talk about this bomb site in particular in contrast to the bottom one, because I know a lot of teams have different opinions on which one they like better, which one they prefer.
I think it's really at the end of the day up to the defending team. Some people would consider this bomb site equally as defender-sided as the basement being the main pick, but I still agree with this. I think that I think they're really confident in this map, and I don't think the bomb site is really a detriment for these guys.
Oh, what is this?
So this is an interesting strat. I don't think I've ever seen this before.
Never in my life.
So what they're going to go ahead and do is open up the wall completely, and Fabian's going to play the Clash extremely aggressive. We have never seen this before. I have never seen this before, and it's going to be interesting to see exactly how they utilize it.
I mean, I get it, right? Because you've got the Clash giving you that information. You just look out. Usually the attackers can freely walk up to that wall, and then you're going to watch out for a run out, obviously, but they can start to open it. Uno's made the first frag here, and yeah, he was looking outside, so already the strategy paying off for them. This makes it so much more difficult for BDS to even approach that area, because they have no idea where the G2 players are at, and they know for sure G2's got all this information.
Yeah, Fabian, that's it. What we just saw right there is exactly the reason why they did that in the first place. Uno playing extremely aggressive behind Fabian, and it kind of takes away the control from BDS. Normally that's a safe spot that the defenders can sit, and the fact that they can't even repel, let alone run out of spawn is crazy to me.
G2 have actually done that before on Consulate. Kanto used to on Jaeger doing that type of stuff, so it's not brand new, but still, I mean, that's a very unorthodox strategy, and so hopefully BDS were ready for it. It's not G2 revealing their big strategy for the first time in round one against the BYOC team, but still, that's very, very interesting.
Very unusual, and I guess it makes sense now that if they have done it before, they are battle tested with this strat. This is one of those strats that you do one time, you save it, put it in your back pocket. So let's see exactly how BDS decides to tackle this this interesting setup from G2.
Well, they're already taking a little bit of damage there. We see Shaco through the floorboards, gets about half of his health blown away. He was trying to take a gunfight, didn't do any damage in response, or if he did, it was just Uno healing himself back up. So a little bit unfortunate of entry. Shaco with a great opportunity, sees the head of Kanto, but doesn't quite hit it. Reinshire, his teammate, will get one instead. Uno frags for his second, taking off Reinshire, getting the trade. So 3-on-4 now as BDS are starting to lose the numbers. It's continuing to not be in their favor. Shaco, this is just such an awful position to be in. You see the Clash right up above. Probably doesn't know that Pengu is up here, but if he pushes aggressively, Pengu can help out with that.
This should get Kanto here. There it goes. Okay. Kanto's off the board, and now they have control of Garage. They just need to get top Rafters control quickly.
Oh, coming in through Garage again, doesn't see those outlines, of course. Should know this is mostly safe. The default camera is gone, thankfully. Looks like they've also dealt with all the cameras that are inside there, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Looking into the bomb site, 25 seconds. They're going to have to start moving soon here. The players on G2, a little bit elusive, not really being spotted by the attackers as they peek into the bomb site. There's the first one going down. RX finding Uno, so he shuts down his killing spree, and Pengu starting to get back in, but oh no, RX is totally taking control of the bomb site. He's on to Fabian outside on the clash. Surely there's no hope for him here. Oh, they run him off the building. Oh, they get him with the pistol. What a way to start this match.
Yeah, not much Fabian really could do there at that point. He was the only one that really had a shield and no gun in his hand. It's unfortunate they didn't close out the round. It was looking really clean in the beginning, and BDS kind of got patient and started doing a little bit more drone work, and they won their trade. So good for them, and great first round. Very interesting strategy coming from G2. Let's see if they do it again.
Well, they've got the clash. It's just going to be if he 6 picks off of it or not. That's the big question for Fabian. He will, so they're not going to be doing that same strategy. And, BDS, they see the clash. They think, oh, it's going to be the same thing, but really they're thinking, all right, well, there's a good chance that they 6 pick off of that. It's not going to be a super surprising 6 pick coming out from G2, but it's nice to utilize that, right? When you can, just don't give info to the enemy team.
So we have the Bandit and the Cade coming out, so yeah, you're right. They're going to reinforce these walls and deny, and a mute.
Wow.
So they have a lot of denial to stop those walls from being opened up. BDS also, though, having a Thatcher and a Maverick, so not really going to be that big of an issue, but it still delays a little bit of time.
Totally, and sometimes you criticize a team if they lose a bomb site and they go right back there immediately, but because they're totally changing up their strategy and because it's G2, like, I'm not going to go sit here and be like, G2 should go to the basement because that's a good site. The basement is a good site, but I have confidence that G2 can pull out the basement if this doesn't go their way, and they probably will, assuming that they don't have some third totally different strategy that they really want to utilize that they can work.
Yeah, and that to me just tells me G2 goes, hey, we did a ridiculous strat.
Yeah.
Obviously, it didn't work out in our favor. Let's go back to the site because we know that we're good at it, and let's just do a more standard hold. So that's exactly what they're doing here, and let's see exactly what BDS plans to do to stop this this setup that they have.
Yeah, totally. This should be something that BDS are a little bit more comfortable playing with. Uno was the best player for G2 in that first round. Of course, getting those initial 2 kills started to look like that round would go G2's way, but in the end, of course, did not. He's like playing a little bit aggressive at the bottom of that garage. So if anybody, obviously they're droning him here now. If they're trying to get in on him, looks like he has mute jammers with him. So it's going to be really difficult to spot out that he's here. You might have a drone on the stairs or something.
Yeah,
this
Uno just needs to be really, really careful. He is in a power position, but if they drone him out, he can easily get pinched off. But let's see if this Cade works.
Oh, he's running up the stairs.
It's going to be close. And there it goes. He got it.
Wow.
That's impressive from Uno, and then he rotated up top to play Rafters. I really like this rotation from Uno.
100%. That's a great play by this guy. This is 2 rounds in a row now where he's had big impact plays. This time it was more utility than frags, but still, that counts just as much. You see RX starting to destroy these floorboards, getting on in, but still, it's Kanto from G2 to get the first opening kill.
Yeah, this is really what you're going to run into in terms of issues as an attacker, is getting that garage control, and how long they stay in that garage and play those Rafters really determines the success for the attackers. So for me, if they can gain this garage control without losing too many bodies, the round is still salvageable, but right now G2's looking solid.
100%. We got a minute 30 still on that clock, so we're halfway through the round in this situation. RX, seeing somebody, wants to hit that headshot, might pump a little bit of damage in, but takes some himself as well. Fabian very lit up from that engagement, and he's not going to be one of these 4 players involved in an engagement. Now, Uno and Reincher are both going to take down Pengu and Shaku, so a couple more players off the board, but this wall still isn't even open for BDS. It's been a bit slow.
Yeah, Maverick sometimes can be a bit tricky, a little bit wonky, but it's a little bit easier on that wall specifically. And there goes RX with the trade, but then Kanto with the trade onto RX. This is the garage control I'm talking about. They still cannot get garage, and they're having a hard time opening up this wall. I mean, you're setting yourself up for failure with both of those still on the board.
Very odd usage of the Maverick. I mean, I guess eventually they do open things up, but that's a very messy line that they were deciding to, or that they were able to draw open. Reincher not missing his drone. Maybe it looks like he wanted to go that way, but he changed his mind regardless. Lots to talk to Babes, though, and this doesn't even look like it's open. It looks like the reinforcement's gone, so they can breach it if they have a shotgun or something, but look at their operators. They don't. Slowly, Raphael is trying to open that up, but they basically have 1 door because they can't really rotate at this time. There's 20 seconds to get in the site. G2, with only a player advantage, looking so strong. Kanto's sitting back. He's like, I don't got to push. I see you walking up my stairs. I'm going to peek over this railing, and eventually I'm going to kill you. Ryan Shiro falls. Gogo with the last one. G2 Esports tie it back up, and we go 1-1.
Clean round coming from G2. That wall was the first problem. They didn't really, they weren't really able to make a big wall. Yeah, I mean, it just might be the ugliest, Maverick play I've seen, but it's just unfortunate that they had such a hard time with the wall. And then on top of that, they didn't even get garage control. And if you want to win that bomb site, garage is the most important control. And Kanto just played the rafters the entire time.
Oh, totally. Really great play by him. So clearly sticking with that bomb site, the smart move from G2. Now they'll go to the Church Arsenal. This is more so what we expect from the squad, but again, not unorthodox to go CCTV cache. But Church Arsenal, yeah, we saw it in the first best of 3 of the day, Dark Zero versus Father's Back. It was a very strong bomb site. Dark Zero, I believe, defended it successfully every time but once. And Father's Back, although they never successfully defended it, they did try it 3 times, so they liked it. It just never worked out for them.
Kanto bringing out the Vigil. That tells me that there might be some roam game happening with Kanto, and maybe possible some support either from Goga or it could be Fabian. We'll see. But I like this pick. Just kind of throw a little wrench in the attackers. Don't give them complete map control. You either have to invest in the roam or you give them complete top control and just play sight. And it looks like G2's going for the more aggressive play, so we'll see how exactly Kanto wants to utilize Vigil and if anybody's going to be backing him up.
Totally. I mean, we talk like way back in the day to old Clubhouse, right? And you never wanted to roam when you were defending on this bomb site, but if you did, you really wanted to bring a Vigil, because one of the big problems is you're going to get droned out and then people can just push you immediately, and it's really hard for you to run back anywhere. Well, that sort of stops that idea, right? If you were playing the Vigil, it's way harder to get droned. We also see Fabian up there trying to support.
Yeah, that was exactly what you were seeing from Fabian. He's placing those cameras so that Kanto knows when he can peek, where he should rotate, and that's exactly what those cameras are meant to do, is to help out the roam game. And then on top of that, you've got Uno using Bandit to deny the wall. So this is the contention point for BDS, how quickly they can clear out the roamers without losing too many men.
100%. And they even have to identify that there are roamers, right? Like, obviously, you see the operators on the board, there's probably going to be roamers. But sometimes teams just focus the basement without taking, like, any control of the top floors. We see the first engagement. Shaco will be able to take it. Fabian falling to the floor with a headshot from Shaco. So a good opener. They find the roamer, and they still got one to deal with, but all things considered, it's a good start.
Yeah, I think Fabian was just kind of caught off guard.
Uno peeks on in, and he's actually going to be 2 more roamers. This is 3 roamers G2 have committed to this top floor. They call him back now, but that was a little scary.
Yeah, I really like the rotate. Oh, and then Shaiko with the trade on to Kanto. This is looking good for Team BDS. 2 of the roamers already down, and they still have almost 2 minutes left on the board. I mean, this is a win for BDS, but also goes to show you how much it can hurt you if you do decide to roam on this map. Because once those roamers die and you have a man advantage, I mean, the defenders are really just hoping to get lucky, and they got to get aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, they're hoping to get like a hard breach kill, or they're hoping to like shoot somebody through the floorboards. It's really tough at that point for the anchors, 100%. So BDS, they did a good job clearing out those roamers, right? They killed 2, they scared Uno back to his friends, and so that puts them in a 2-man advantage. They can start working away at these hatches. It's a little bit sloppy, Maverick play, and that'll be another kill going in favor of BDS. Uno, after deciding maybe he didn't want to be with his friends, pops his head up and he does lose. Looks like this hatch is about to be opened up, and Gogo just staring at it. His teammate will fall. That's Pengu to RXWD. And now Gogo, the last man standing for his team, will need the ace clutch. There goes a grenade, totally blinding him. He can't see a thing, and he's dead. BDS, a flawless round.
Wow. I mean, great round from them. And I think the first pick, I think Fabian kind of was just caught off guard. He wasn't expecting someone to just run into garage that quickly. But once he died, it was not looking good for the defenders because there was not that support to really assist and help him out. You saw Uno trying to make that play to rotate up, but at that point, BDS had so much control, there was not much that they could do. So we're going to go back down to the Church Arsenal bomb site to see exactly what G2 is going to do to mix this up.
It's the second time to this game that BDS have taken the lead over G2. Both times only been a 1-round lead, and we're 3 rounds in. But still, I think it's a bit of a statement to come out against the world champions and say, hello, yes, our name is Team BDS, and we're just going to put you in the dirt. A couple of rounds there that G2 just sort of wish they had back. They weren't even close, right? So they might be a little bit scared at this point. Yeah, they'll try it again in the Church.
Yeah, BDS as well is... they're not really doing anything crazy. They're just kind of playing their game. And G2 now swapping off from the roam and deciding to play a little bit more of a passive defensive setup, which I really, really like. I really, really agree with this. Because right now G2 needs as many rounds on defense that they can get. And this is how they do it.
I think the BDS have proven just in these short few rounds, they've proven that they're a very efficient team, right? The way that they're quickly clearing out roamers, the way they're quickly getting into the building, and even adapting, right, to situations like that first round where G2 opened up the whole CCTV wall. Being able to notice that and just being like, hey guys, don't die to this. They did lose one person of that. Give him the credit to G2, but still, you know, they were able to counter that and still win that round. That's impressive.
Absolutely. Yeah, and here goes BDS, same exact clear, getting the top floor control and then working their way down. So not much is going to change for the attackers. They just will not have anybody to deny them from taking that control. So they're going to do this very quickly, and then let's see how quickly they can get down below, open up the hatches, and we'll see exactly where they're going to plant.
Just working their way through the top floor, you know. Fool me once, G2, with your roamer strategies, and you won't fool me again, okay? They really want to do their due diligence, make sure that there's no sneaky players up here, and there's not, right? G2, I think expectedly, are going to change up their strategy. Last time was hyper-aggressive. You had 3 roamers going back and forth between the top floors and the bottom. This time, they're just saying, no, sir, we're going to stick in the basement and wait for you to come to us. I still wouldn't be mad if they'd be a little bit aggressive, right? If Uno wants to poke his head up, sure, I'm not going to be upset by that. Just like, don't have 3 people up on the top floors.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, the roam game is a risky play, but sometimes it pays off. And that round specifically was not in the favor of G2, so they swapped to the defensive setup, which I totally agree with. And they'll get a little bit aggressive on some of these staircases, but you're not really going to see much action until close to the end of the round when they go for the section.
100%. And so, like, it's really about how fast can BDS clear out those top floors and then start focusing on the basement without G2 really interrupting them, right? You see they're doing a pretty good job tearing up these floorboards. You see one player working away at the hatch. So there's a little bit of work being put in here, but a Goga with a great shot on a RX. That was just threading the needle and hurts a little bit for BDS to lose one just like that.
Yeah, this Cade as well is going to be a problem here for Team BDS, but on top of that, they have a Thatcher, so
yeah,
it shouldn't be that big of an issue. But with Goga playing the back armory, it's gonna slow it down just a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. It's that time commitment that you got to bring Ryan Scher over to the kitchen. You got to make him put, you know, his utility out, and that little thing just really can make a difference. They're going to start focusing in on the church wall, though, and with 2 sets of utility. Oh, wow, works against them, though. Kanto with 2 gets the double kill. Shaco and Raffle both fall, but here comes a push in by Goga. He's coming in for a flank. Oh, he sees the hole, but he doesn't really want to push it. At the moment, there's still 2 players left alive on BDS. They got 35 seconds, still a little bit of time. Ooh, and a grenade almost downs Ryan Scher. That is not good for him. Again, that's going to be his teammate that's throwing him, and oh, he's going to go down 2. Ryan Scher will now need the ace clutch, and it doesn't happen. Pengu with the last 2 kills for his team. G2 take round 4.
And that round is looking solid. G2 just kind of going back to that OG mentality play style. The 2 of the rounds, they tried to mix it up a little bit. You had the aggressive roam on the downstairs basement, and then they opened up the whole wall when they were up in cache and server. And both of the rounds, they just kind of played a little bit more passive, and it totally worked out for them. Let's see what they do for this next round.
You know, I saw a G2 versus a BYOC team, and I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit like, well, that might not be so good of a game. But I'm glad that at least in these first 4 rounds, we've seen a really good back-and-forth match between these guys. I'm sure it'll continue, too, because BDS, yeah, they're BYOC, but man, oh man, they have just as much, if not more prowess than some of these invited teams, and they can certainly hang with the best of them. Great to see them coming out against G2, 4 rounds in the clubhouse.
Yeah, BDS, 2 rounds on attack. That's a win for me if I'm a BDS fan.
Totally.
Even though it's a tie game and G2 are, winning rounds as well, the fact that BDS has taken 2 attack rounds is a win in my book. So really, G2 needs to close this out and try to win out on the rest of this defense here.
I think that BDS would still like to get 1 or 2 more rounds, but even if it goes 4-2, you don't get too down on yourself, right? You're attacking on Clubhouse. You got some important attacking operators banned. All right, fine. We can switch to defense. We can totally pull that back to, a 7-5 or a 6-6, and then go into overtime and win the OT. Definitely doable. For G2, you're already at a 2-2. You're like, if we start to lose more rounds, this could get messy real quick.
Yeah, and G2 defaulting back to the setup that won him the first round on this bomb site. So I like this. I totally agree with this. Nothing crazy. The strategy's not really that in-depth. It's really just how quickly can BDS check mark every single step off the list. You got to get the wall open. You got to make sure garage is clear. And doing that fluidly is really the key to attacking this map.
Last time we saw KE being playing inside of the garage. This time it doesn't happen that way, though. They do have mute jammers down here still, just in case, you know, trick the enemy, think, oh, maybe there's somebody down here. But no, you can open up these garage walls pretty freely, Shaiko. Doing that right now, and will get a crouch hole that he can walk through using 2 of those X-Kairos sets. So they got that open, and they have the Maverick, so they can, again, try to go for that strategy where they use the blowtorch to get into the CCTV room. But if they like make it as messy as last time, I'm going to be a little bit questionable. We'll start it now.
Now, here goes the Maverick play, but the key person to focus on here, in my opinion, is Uno. If BDS does not drone, he's gonna catch them off guard when they go to run up the staircase. He's the key for me. And Kanto, who is playing the top Raptors, knows that he's there. So essentially, he's trying to bait them to come up the stairs so that Uno can get that pick. And
in round number 2, Kanto was just so good at that. Playing inside of the top garage, right where you see him right now. He's been very, very good in this position. So I anticipate he'll be doing a similar role this time around, just sort of sitting up there, playing pretty passively. Last time BDS kind of ran out of time, and they just sort of had to charge up the staircase and get gunned down because they had really no hope towards the last like 20 seconds when they didn't really have anybody in towards the bomb site who was still alive. So this time, if they can move a little bit quicker, I know that they've like been pretty efficient so far in this game, but if they can keep the players alive, just like that, dealing with Kanto, then they should be pretty good. Gogo getting another frag though, countering back, and just going back and forth in that kill feed. Fabian will also be the 3rd one to fall in this server, and they're going to continue to get aggressive. Pengu falls back.
Yeah, this is huge for BDS. Now they need to get garage control and get the top Raptors control so they can start focusing up on a plant. Uno's in a pretty good spot, and I think he might be trying to get a pick here in garage.
Oh no, missing a couple of shots there. Gogo will get credit for 1, a headshot onto Shaiko. That evens out the numbers 3-3, but Uno playing down below. If he can use this Nitro cell, this could be so huge for him. He will get a kill. Uno gets a headshot onto Panics, but another blinded player. There's the C4 I was talking about, takes down Reinshiro, leaves all onto Raffle, and this could be the first time that G2 take their lead. If they can find this one player, Gogo, no idea where he's at. 17 seconds on the clock, and he starts this plant off. Nobody's really close enough to help him out, and I think Pengu is down, so this is actually a one-on-one. Yes, it is. Raffle, this is very, very doable for him. Just needs to protect this diffuser. He's planted in a bit of an unorthodox spot, so it's not like they're going to necessarily know immediately where he's at.
Yeah, the problem here is Uno has not a lot of health, so he's got to hit shots here.
Oh, but Raffle doesn't know. Oh, boy. Oh, he's picking up Pengu.
This could be huge here.
Okay, okay. I don't hate this. 2 is definitely better than 1. Now they're creeping around. Raffle behind the bars. Oh, no. They don't know where he's at. Yes, they do. He doesn't see them, though.
Great
Wait, Uno just ran right past the diffuser. Wait, they don't know where it is. It's right there.
We got it. Woo!
Okay, they're fine.
We're sweating a little bit. Great composure from G2. Going to pick up the downed player. I think that was what won them the round right there. I think if he had challenged with the amount of health that he had, it was over. But the fact that he stayed calm, picked his teammate up, and then they pinched together. Brilliant play from G2, and BDS has to be upset about that round.
You talk about Uno, and you talk about him as a guy who's much so the new guy to this team, even still, right? You talk about his maybe a little bit less experience on this roster full of world-class veterans. Well, that time definitely kept his composure. I think especially after an event like Raleigh, where some people, I don't want to say legitimately, but some people were saying that he, choked a little bit on land, first big event, and he didn't perform as well as people might have expected. Coming in, keeping a cool, calm head in an event like DreamHack, I think that's really big for Uno, and I'm really happy to see it from him.
Yeah, and I know that the G2 lineup, all the guys were kind of upset that people were saying that Uno was a problem. A lot of people just don't understand the game from a player's perspective. So looking at numbers, it's really easy to pick on one person to blame, and I think Uno, in that regard, was an easy target. That being said, he is a phenomenal player, and I think it just takes some time to really just adapt and evolve into your role. And the only people that are going to really understand what the issue was for that team at that event specifically are the players themselves. So everybody go a little easy on Uno because this guy's nasty.
Fabian sometimes he comes to Canada, he likes to indulge himself on a couple of donuts with his Tim Hortons coffee. Well, he is dropping 0 kills so far in this one. We're only 5 rounds in, so there's room for him to pick it back up. When you talk about Fabian, usually is a guy who's doing a lot of the calling, right? He is their IGL and is a team leader, so that's not to say he's doing nothing despite the fact that he's 0-3 at the moment. And especially since he's 0-3, that means that he's survived every single round that they've, or at least 2 of the rounds that they've won. So not a bad survival rate at this point, still playing pretty well, but something to look out for.
Yeah, pretty standard setup here coming from G2. Looks like Uno's going to extend over on the Cash side. He'll probably be playing inside Cash. stopping those walls from being opened up with the Cade. And then you've got the Castle and the Bandit that are going to be playing over on the Master side. But he's got the Bandit, I think he's got them pre-placed. It's not really worth risking Bandit tricking.
Sure.
Once that Castle gets opened up, that's in gem. So as long as that Castle stays closed, you'll probably see him playing the wall. But the second that Castle gets opened up, it gets a lot more dangerous for Pengu.
Sure, and BDS are aware of this, right? Like, they've got a lot of utility they can use to try to castle barricades, counter them. Most notably, Pengu playing with the Sledge, right? Not going to be all that effective from Fabian to be putting up those barricades, but it's still a bit of a time waster, so it's still definitely worth doing. But yeah, like, getting towards this building seems like a pretty safe and pretty standard setup from both teams.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like BDS is going to be pushing out anybody that is playing Cash. They just simply wanted to open up that wall to get that angle to make sure no one peeks the server window. But other than that, they're going straight for a Jacuzzi or gym plant. So they're going to open up Jacuzzi and go for a gym plant here. And let's see how quickly they can do it. Only a minute, 30 seconds on the clock.
Kind of messing up again with that Maverick work on the wall. If somebody is like down at the end of the hallway, they could go for a peek here and just like shoot somebody's toes or even their head if they're looking for it. Panics will come in and get the first kill of the game, or of the round, sorry. Takes down Pengu, so that's a big pick, right? You're taking down the Bandit, maybe not the best operator, but it's Pengu. Always a player that you got to watch out for. A lot of damage pumped out from Panic, so he's going to take a little bit himself. Throws in a grenade, caught by an ADS though. Wants to be able to find this Kaid. Just juking and jiving behind that bed. Uno should thank his lucky stars that he is still alive, because that was a very close one for him.
Yeah, just going down the checklist and making sure everything's clear before they go for this plant. Pengu off the board. It could be a huge thing, and Panics with the kill onto Uno. Kanto with the kill onto Shaiko. I mean, this is just a flurry of kills. And BDS honestly have this round. They just need to focus up and not get too aggressive.
Great grenade play coming in from Panix. He's been fantastic this round. 3 kills, all of them to his name. And now they're just looking for 2 more. Goga and Fabian, the 2 remaining players, lurking around the bomb site. And Goga, if he goes for a big flank, this could be game-changing. Here he comes. They don't see him at all. He gets the first one, but countered back. It's a trade. 1-on-3 now. Fabian left alone. He's going to have to get all 3 of his kills in the game in this round if he doesn't want his team to get tied back up for the half. And honestly, a 3-3 split is definitely going to favor the attackers in this situation. They jump through the window, and Fabian catches them off guard. But 10 seconds, they don't have that diffuser. It's actually on the ground. Picks it up now, and Panics can go for this plant. Still Fabian doesn't have any impact grenades. Can't really stop this from happening. He's going to have to run up the staircases, but it is being watched. There's barbed wire, but he loses the gunfight. RX, no. It's a 1-on-1 now. Fabian brings out the pistol. Doesn't know where the final player is at. Oh, but he does. Panics hits him with the headshot. That's a 4K for him on the round. And beautiful play from BDS. Almost clawed back by Fabian, though.
Yeah, great plays coming from BDS, just kind of staying composed and making sure that the round goes smoothly for them. They got the first pick onto Pengu, and after that, it was just making sure you take those steps, and if you don't do that, one mistake could cost you that round. But on the flip side of things, with G2 losing that bomb site, if you're going to lose a bomb site, that's normally the bomb site you're going to lose. So if I wouldn't be too upset with it, but at the end of the day, a 3-3 split on Clubhouse, that is a win in my books for BDS. So G2 just has to have really solid attacks if they want to close this map out.
And BDS, not done with the shenanigans yet. Look at this. Gym bedroom is where we will start on defense. Clearly, that means they're confident in it. And it's nice, right? Because if you 6-pick into that castle, you can really hide that you're going here. And look at what they've got on G2. They have a little bit of ability to destroy those castle barricades, but they don't have a sledge. And that's the big one that you can try to counter with this push on.
Yeah, this is
pretty good.
This site specifically, you know, like I just said, right, this is the 3rd bomb site you normally go to. If you're gonna lose a bomb site, this is the bomb site you're gonna lose. But what they did here is they gave themselves a little bit of an edge by throwing them off. And, you know, will G2 bring the right operators to attack it? Normally, you know, when you're going to a 3rd bomb site, they're going to master. It's pretty rare you see them go to bar. So this is kind of, they're just trying to throw G2 off here, and let's just see if it works.
G2 a very storied team. I don't expect them to like totally freak out and be like, we didn't expect this being planned for it. Clearly they do still have like an idea of how to do this without a sledge, but it becomes more difficult. And so those odds are just going to tilt a little bit slightly in BDS's favor for this round. And their defense on Clubhouse, right? So it's already somewhat in their favor going up to defend any of the bomb sites as long as they stay away from that first floor. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with BDS coming into this position. And even happier now, Fabian the IGL will be taken down by Shaiko inside of the garage. A great shot, I'm sure it was, coming from the Jaeger.
Yeah, losing your Thatcher is really unfortunate, but the good thing about this, they still have the Maverick. So any wall that they run into, they're going to be able to... Oh, Uno with a nice pick onto Shaiko.
So it gets the trade.
Yeah, so it gets the trade. And honestly, it doesn't look too bad for G2. Yeah, you lost your Thatcher, but at the end of the day, you've got your Maverick, and that's really what counts. It just might slow down the droning, if anything, or maybe getting rid of those ADSs. But other than that, not too big of a hit.
RX with a good angle. Somebody might be about to crouch walk into it, but whoever it is on the other side of that silhouette thinks better of it. And you can see right now they're in the midst of this. If he can actually, nobody's going to aggress, but RX, it's a very risky strategy when you do that, right? Of course, he was waiting to reinforce that wall so he could go for a bit of a cheeky pick. If you're caught whilst you're putting that up, you're just a dead man walking, right? If somebody peeks you at the wrong time, that sucks. So very happy for him that that's not the way that went.
Yeah, if he would have gotten a pick and then reinforce it, would have been a completely different story. But the fact that he just decided, hey, let me reinforce it, I totally agree with that play. I think that's smart that he decided to reinforce it, but to not get a pick and then risk your life potentially to do that is really kind of where it's up in the air for me. But
yeah.
This is still winnable for G2. Let's just see. They don't have a lot of time on the board. Let's see how they decide to attack this. Now that this... Oh, no. He's
thinking about it.
He wanted to put a mute and a Kaid on that wall. They just
Interesting.
double confirm that wall's never getting opened.
RX with a great shot onto Uno, just pumps a couple into his chest and through his tight little slit, he was able to get that one. So again, G2 kind of falling on these numbers. That's what we're talking about, right? You don't have all the utility that you necessarily want attacking this bomb site. Kind of having a tough time with it. Now they're going to start to run on in. G2 would ideally like to find a couple of frags, but these angles opened up by BDS. Raffle, great shot by him, a headshot onto Pengu, and now they just need to find a couple of more. There's one on Agoga, the last one standing. Is going to get the first kill. Kanto or Ketty. I mean, if anybody's going to do it, he's 1-2. There comes the C4, and with the pistol, Kanto. Oh, it looked doable for a moment, but no. BDS shuts down that play, and they will take round 7.
Yeah, this is the only problem with this strategy. Just if you don't go for cash and you don't go for server, you don't really have much of like a dynamic attack when you just go for that wall and open up that wall, and you just have to flood in and hope you get your kills. That's the only unfortunate thing about going for a jacuzzi, where you're for that control, that jacuzzi control.
Yep.
But it's still not the end of the world for G2. They're going to be going to attacking Church, so let's see what BDS does defense-wise.
Dyko bringing out my girl Ella for this round. And I'm really excited to see how that one plays out. If it's going to be more of a roaming Ella or if she's going to sit in the basement, I would expect that they actually played a little bit more passively than sometimes we see with an Ella. She can be pretty powerful. You know, you maybe hold down that tunnel. Maybe you can just put her on some staircases and then sort of sit on back. With the new Scorpion, I say new, it's still like, I guess, a year or so old. It's not that new. But with the updated Scorpion, it's harder to do aggressive roam strategies that we saw back in the day.
It's very possible that he could be roaming with Ella, maybe holding a certain aspect of the map, but she's still really good for control on defense as well down below in the site. One being blue stairs, like so if he wants to play the stairs aggressive, if he wants to play blue aggressive, it really just depends on how they want to utilize Ella. I don't think Ella's the worst pick. She's definitely situational.
Yeah.
And how BDS plans to use her is really going to be the key here.
The alibi being brought out, the other interesting operator to talk about here. Raffle bringing that one, and this is definitely going to be a bit of a roamer operator. I've actually heard people say that you can play this operator a bit more passively, a bit more as an anchor, and I've seen it work as well, but generally teams still like to roam with her. Very good gun, right? 3 speed, of course. Those clones can be okay sometimes. I mean, they're not huge, not the biggest of deals, but certainly this is a formidable operator in the hands of a formidable player.
Yeah, just... I wouldn't say she's like the best to bring, but she brings something to the table that you know, not all teams are going to have to use, but you know, they enjoy, I guess, using her, and for what exactly they want to do, they're going to bring her out. So let's see how they utilize the alibi, and let's see if he's going to be supported by any other comrades.
No damage just yet, but this might change things. Just open up a castle barricade, and as an explosion goes off, RX will get the opening frag on a Goga. So that's one player down, and not the first player that I would have expected to be falling in this engagement. You still see a lot of players in battle. Shaiko, one of them, inside of the staircase. He'll back on off. Pengu from behind scared him a little bit, but he'll escape with his life. So on low HP, no Docker or anything to be able to heal him back up. But that's a pretty successful roam from BDS. You got a kill and then lost a little bit of help but got everybody else out. There goes Rafael, so maybe not the best of roams, but still, I think like a 4 for 4, and you're treating a Maverick for an alibi, that's good, really good.
Yeah, Fabian, you know, just doing his job, making sure everything's clear, droning him out. They have a feeling that there might be another person upstairs. So as long as they can cut off this guy rotating, they're going to be up at least a man advantage with Shaiko being pretty weak as well. So this is looking good for G2. They just need to clear this guy out quickly.
Oh, and there's the engagement you were just talking about. RX off of the board thanks to Kanto, and he's going to be able to put his team in a player advantage, now a 3-on-4. And still a minute 15. Like, this is very doable for G2. I think they're on a good pace. They haven't totally secured the top floor. You can tell just by the way Kanto is playing. He's scared that somebody is up here. Nobody is, though, right? BDS all have fallen back at this point. Maybe you could see Ranchero like come up at some point, but that doesn't really seem like his play style. Probably we'll just wait for G2 to get comfortable, and then they'll come in for the push.
Yeah, if I'm BDS, I would maybe at one point find a way to flank just to apply pressure from a different angle. G2 has a lot of control now, so they really just need to go through that step-by-step process. I think they're going to be going for the church wall maybe, but if not, they might be planning back armory, so we'll see.
Looks like church wall just based on where they're all at. There goes a grenade catching Panic, so he's going to be off of the board. This number advantage keeps on growing for G2. This has been a pretty good attack so far. Shaiko, what are you doing, buddy? There's a lot of players up on that skylight or that hatch. Really got to be watching out for that. Kanto will be able to clean up on an easy kill. Very low HP target. Reinschere the last player, but he will make nothing happen. Pengu answers right back, finds the player at his bomb site, and, wow, takes what is his. Yeah,
I mean, the same thing that happened at G2 at the very beginning of the game versus right now, if the defenders don't have a successful roam, you're probably not going to win the site. It's pretty rare you see the roamers get picked and the defenders win that round. And that's why you see G2 applying so much time on making sure that they kill those guys, because once those guys are eliminated, it is smooth sailing for G2. So great roam clear from G2, and we're going to go back to the same bomb site, so we'll see exactly what BDS has in store, and I have a feeling they're not going to roam this time.
I told you a day ago that the match between G2 and the BYOC team would never go above a one-round advantage. I feel like a lot of people would have scoffed, but hey, they got a tough opponent in the stage, right, to come out of it. BDS, very capable from the BYOC, and they're proving it here. I think even though we're talking them up as like a very good BYOC team, because they are a very good BYOC team, I think a lot of people still would have had this squad as one of the underdogs, right, going in this match against G2. They're so experienced, they're so strong, usually. And BDS, you know, as much as the talent is on their roster, they're a Challenger League team, you know, and it's not like a secret situation where they definitely belong in Pro League. I think it's still questionable if they belong there, at least before this match. Maybe this will start to answer those questions.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of buzz about BDS, a lot of positive things, including some other teams that are also in Challenger League. And that's the thing, is these guys are in Challenger League, but really these players are battle-tested. They've been around the block. They know exactly how to play this game. It's really just kind of finding your footing and finding exactly where you fit in to the scene, and what better way to prove that with the game versus G2. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better matchup right now.
Oh yeah, this is a statement from BDS, at the very least. Even if they lose this 7-4, I think they've proven some people that they are nothing to be messed with.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Droning in the garage, and they want to clear this all out. We did go back to Church Arsenal, which is a little bit questionable for me. I felt like their defense back here wasn't super strong, but again, if they change things up, play a little bit less aggro, which seems to be what they're doing, then I don't hate it, right? It's the same thing G2 did. Played it really aggressively, didn't quite work out, so they played it passive, and then they got what they wanted. Probably BDS will be a similar story, right? They're here defending on the basement floor. One way didn't work. Odds are, even ignoring what these teams are, that this one will work a little bit better. Uno getting some information that somebody's on the stairs, but they'll back off.
Yeah, and anybody wondering why that door was reinforced, he's baiting out for a C4. He's hoping to get a free cheeky pick on anybody that's going to push that hallway. That's exactly why you see him playing this doorway right here. So let's see if he gets aggressive to get that C4 kill. And it looks like it's going to be away. So that's a win for G2. G2 knows that's another C4 that they don't have to worry about. And now at this point, all they have to do is go through those steps and decide what direction they would like to go for planning.
Yeah, they're going to be very happy about that, G2. You're going to see pretty efficient opening the hatch as well there. Goga very experienced in this, so should be able to get the kitchen hatch open fairly easily as well. After that goes down, Kanto with the opening pick onto Shaiko. He will be the first one to fall, and that's the Jaeger, likely just wanting to get a little bit aggressive up on the blue stairs. Him falling is big, but now starting to see some G2 players funnel downstairs.
Yeah, that blue pick is huge for G2. Once you have that blue control, you're able to make that push a little bit more dynamic, and they don't have to waste a lot of time clearing that out. So this is good for Kanto, this is good for G2. Pengu with a pick on the Ranchero.
all going according to plan right now for G2. I mean, they've gotten the picks that they wanted. Time, they're right on schedule. RX is just dying in the basement. They're very happy about that as well. Uno can pump some lead into him. That leaves it to a 5-on-2. Nobody's really made any mistakes. There's a couple, though. Oh, lose 2 kills. They got 2 of their own, though, so still it's going to be a heavy player advantage. It's going to be all on a Raphael with 1 HP, almost, just to hold on against 3 storming G2 players who already have control of the bomb site. They're going to start this plant. Pengu in the midst of this, but this is going to be so tough for the Maestro to try to counter back. Should know the plan is going down. He's taking a gunfight, but the plant finally gets planted off. And if he can stop this, he'll be a mastermind of this game with the Alda very much as possible, but still such little HP. It's going to be a tough one for him. Reloading and through the wall, Gogo will find it.
Yeah, great round for G2. Another site. You shouldn't win that site as an attacker. When you win that site, you're feeling good. So really good plays from G2. I think it was Pengu that got the first pick. It was Kanto actually that got the first pick into blue, and that kind of set them in forward motion to finish out the round. That was huge. Good round for G2. If
we start seeing more of that, I joked about a 7-4 scoreline, but we might actually be headed that way, right? I mean, G2 very efficient, very fast. They're gonna have to deal with Gym Bedroom maybe at some point. It's opened up again. That was the first round that BDS won. Perhaps they're just thinking, well, now G2 are gonna expect it. Now it's not gonna work as well for us. Maybe G2 would have 6-pick into a sledge had they thought based on the operators that's where they were going. One way or another, though, BDS choosing not to go Gym Bedroom. They go CCTV Cache, despite the fact they have a castle.
I think this is our first time seeing them play this bomb site, correct?
Yeah, for them.
So that makes sense why they switched up the bomb site. They haven't had much success on the other bomb sites, or at least downstairs in the basement, which you gotta win that, right? So
totally.
They're just at this point going, let's switch it up. This site is, just as good, which I totally agree with. I think that this site is just as doable as the downstairs basement. It really just comes down to how G2 decides to push and clear out Garage, and how BDS kind of rotates their bodies to counter how G2 is pushing. So we'll see exactly the direction G2 would like to go to take control of this site. But this should be good.
I feel like it's a pretty utility-heavy defense for BDS, where you've got the Maestro cams inside of the garage. He's going to use those as much as possible just to help them out holding that little area. And the castle barricades as well. It's going to help funnel people into the areas where, G2 don't really want to go, but they kind of have to without a sledge.
Yeah, it looks like BDS actually is going for an overextended hold, where they're overextending into the other parts of the map. So they've got master control as well with that wall and jacuzzi reinforced, and they have bandits on that wall. So these guys are investing a lot of utility for an extended hold, which it's not necessarily a bad thing, but if G2 does not push from that direction, it's a waste.
Totally, yeah. It's an interesting way to try to play it. We don't see it all that often anymore, just because it can be a bit of a waste. But I like it, pull it out against G2. Why not? Shows they got a little bit of confidence here for BDS. So coming in, they've already managed to open up a little bit of this wall G2 have, and at the same time open it up Skulls. Panic drops, and Kanto Arcadi will be the victor in that engagement. That's the bandit down, so no more bandit shenanigans. He was one a little bit farther off onto the bomb site, and Kanto with a second one on RX, so 2 for him here in round number 10. Looking pretty good. BDS perhaps splitting up as they have and spreading themselves thin wasn't the best idea.
Yeah, just great patience coming from G2. Now all they have to do is get that garage control, and they can go for a plant. On top of that, just making sure no one is playing downstairs, but there's no C4, so it's really not that big of a deal. Like, you could go downstairs and make sure it's clear, but there's no C4. So really, G2 just needs that garage control, and they've got this round in the bag.
Minute 20 on that clock, and BDS would just hope that timer ticks down a little bit quicker. Raphael pops his head up, and he's shooting ducks, but his head gets blown off as well. Kanto was his third. All 3 in the round going towards him, and wow, they're looking for a couple of more BDS. I mean, yeah, you got 1 onto the buck. Not a bad pick at all, but you want to stay alive. You can crouch down right afterwards. If you can keep yourself alive, that's so much more impactful. Ryan Shiro taking a little bit of damage, and he's going a little bit risky, right? He's down on that first floor. He's making plays. He's trying at the very least, and I like that. When you're in a position like this, you kind of have to. Another down coming in for G2 Esports. So they lose 1, and actually it looks like Goga's pretty low as well. Pangu hits a headshot on a Shaiko, though, and I'm not sure it's going to be enough for Ryan Shiro. Full HP in 40 seconds. Not the end of the world. I'm talking like this is a disaster, but honestly, I've seen crazier.
Are they both crawling out of the door? I mean, this is brilliant.
Wow.
Pick up your teammates.
Pangu's going to get him eventually. It's slow, but they have time to work with. G2 have been so quickly in opening up this bomb site. They're not upset by this at all. Ryan Shiro's got the angle, hits one, but there's one right behind him. Didn't quite keep holding the trigger. So another player did manage to get up those stairs. He's going to be aggressing, losing the gunfight though. That's diffuser down, 12 seconds on his clock. Oh no, but from behind, Fabian puts an end to his shenanigans, and G2 take round 10 as well.
It was almost really dangerous for G2. It was looking pretty solid, and then we saw those two down guys in garage. It could have gone either way if he had managed to find a way to pick those guys off, but he was by himself, he was on an island, and, you know, good try.
Definitely. I wanted to see it happen because it's looking pretty doable, but no. It doesn't happen this time. This is the first time we've seen a 3-round streak from either team. It's been such a back-and-forth game. Finally, G2 breaks the curse, and they get 8, 9, and 10. If they get 11 as well, if they can extend that to a 4-round streak, they'll take the map, they'll take BDS's map pick, and probably set themselves up to win the whole series.
Yeah, and Panix is going to 6-pick onto the Valk, just give you more intel and information. And if you're going to pick an intel op like Echo or Valk, why show it? And 6-pick to it, G2 not bringing an IQ, so it was a pretty good win, in my opinion, for BDS. But it's not the end of the world, so we'll see exactly how BDS is going to utilize those cameras, whether it's going to be for the roamers or for intel outside of the bomb sites. But here we go. We're going back to the same site.
How back and forth this game has been, and with how much respect I have for every player in this server, I haven't been too critical about bomb site choices. This is the first time where I'm a little bit questioning that they go back to CCTV. Gym bedroom is still open, and yes, maybe it's a bit more predictable in this situation, but like, he just won it so well last time, and G2 aren't bringing a sledge, right? They had a Zofia, but they had a Zofia the first time you defended it too. So like, I don't love that they're trying CCTV again, because it's do or die right now, and if they don't win it here, maybe they'll be kicking themselves later down the road.
Yeah, I don't think it's the end of the world. At this point, BDS needs to win. So they got to go to the smarter bomb sites, which is going to be either the basement or it's going to be cache server. Experimenting is officially out the window. They obviously picked that bomb site as their first pick. But with that being said, you are right. They won that site. So maybe they should give it another shot.
They certainly don't think so, and yeah, I guess it's do or die. Maybe they think they have to win this bomb site either way. The order doesn't particularly matter. I can see that line of reasoning as well. Goga getting to work on this wall, and again, he's been relatively proficient on the Maverick. He's usually been pretty good opening things up, and Kanto really appreciates it, right? He gets these tight little angles. Shooting through the grappling hook, that's just on our side. But yeah, no, he's definitely looking for players, looking for toes that he can try to pop off and add to his toe collection.
Yeah, just pretty standard work.
Yeah.
Making sure that he just gets that wall open efficiently, and that way that they have that line of sight into garage. I'm curious if they're doing, I don't think they're doing an extended roam, or at least they're not using an operator like Bandit or that kind of stuff to help with that roam on master side. But G2 says, let's not even push over there. Like, there's no reason for us to go over there. So I really like how G2's just kind of staying on a basic push, because they don't really need to do much here except for that checklist. And once they get garage control, that's going to be scary for BDS. So let's see if they can get the garage control that they need quickly without losing too many bodies.
I think CCTV wall being opened by like a minute 30 is like a good time, but it just feels like the rest of the team isn't doing a whole lot for G2. They're kind of just standing outside, but there's no construction controller master. There's no garage until just now where they're getting into it, and still the Maestro's up here, so it's not like you just have this whole garage for free. He gets blinded and will lie back down. Yeah, you can't shoot that. Sorry, boys. Backpack going through, but either way, Raphael will keep all of his hit points. Uno's hunting for it, knows where the ping is at, sees his hands, and that'll be all he needs. Raphael going to be the first casualty in round number 11 on match point. Uno will be able to secure that one. They're looking for a few more.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen maybe some support for the Maestro. He kind of was stuck there by himself, and BDS didn't really have an answer to assist him. And once they get that, you kind of need that. Once they get that garage control, it's looking pretty good for the attackers. So the fact that there was no one there to support them, I would have liked to have seen that maybe. But G2, nothing crazy, just taking control, and it looks like they're about to go for the execute here.
Yeah, but Panix is in such a sneaky position. He could come on back. He might need to, too, because his teammates aren't doing so hot. RX and Shaiko both hit the deck, and that's going to leave just 2 players left alive. One of them's Rangshiro, who does not have a whole lot of HP. That C4 might miss. Yes, it does. I think he got shot out of the air, even. Plant's gone down. Rangshiro got nothing. Panix gets the first one. Looks for the second one outside, but won't be able to do it. He gets put to bed, and G2 Esports take the map.